WandaVision episode 3 is here, and this show so far is honestly more enjoyable to think about and talk about than even to actually watch, which is why I've been looking forward to this video so much. Let's get into this. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button. I do want to remind you that much of what we are doing as the Den of Nerds moving forward is happening over on our live streaming channel. Let's begin this video with a spoiler warning. We're going to be getting into the spoilers of WandaVision episode 3, which just aired on Disney Plus yesterday, depending on when you're watching this video. So if you haven't seen that episode, get on out of here. But also, we're going to be dealing with slight spoilers, rumors, leaks, and reports about things that are happening in future episodes. So if you're trying to stay totally surprised, free or spoiler free, surprise positive, you know what I'm saying, just get out of here. So the episode continues with the sitcom TV show kind of motif, and in this episode the focus of the content or the story in the episode is revolving around the pregnancy. We begin the episode with Wanda and Vision and the doctor. We know about the pregnancy. Obviously Vision is a little bit weirded out at the speed by which things are happening, and even he is trying to calculate when the birth will actually take place, and he ends up being wrong because the children get born literally in this episode. We are moving at a very quick clip here. Now, a huge part of this episode, a big aspect of what is going on here, is the character of Geraldine, who we all know, you know, spoiler, 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 is actually Monica Rambeau from way back in the day during the Captain Marvel movie, all grown up. Now, her, as the character of Geraldine, just in the town, happens to be in the house as Wanda is giving birth. And at first, Wanda is actually trying to prevent her from seeing the pregnancy, from seeing her baby bump, but then she goes into labor, and the Monica Rambeau character literally helps her give birth to the first child. And right as they finish that up, the Vision, who has spun out with super speed to go get the doctor, because again, the pregnancy is happening, or rather the birth is happening way faster than anyone anticipated. Vision arrives back with the doctor just in time to see the first of the twins born. Now, another big layer to this show has to do with Vision himself, right? And Vision having conversations with the neighbor, Herb, who gets caught trimming the bushes through like the concrete wall, which is really, really crazy. But then, of course, Agnes also joins with Herb, and they have some really weird dialogue with Vision about what is going on with Wanda and Geraldine. And of course, because this show is WandaVision, nothing that is actually going on in the baseline plot is actually what is really going on. For instance, it's obvious that Wanda in some way is manifesting the children and controlling everything that is happening in this world. It's also clear that she doesn't have that same control with everybody that is in the town. The beekeeper who enters the town was obviously an outside force that Wanda removes, but so is Geraldine. So is Monica Rambeau. As at the end of the episode, after a warning about Wanda and how Geraldine has no home, husband, or place in town, Wanda, who is looking at the twins, recalls that she is a twin and remembers her brother Pietro. Now, while this is going down, the character of Geraldine is like looking at her, and she says that Pietro was killed by Ultron. This snaps Wanda into the moment, and she realizes that Geraldine is an outside force and that she is from S.W.O.R.D. That's what she means when she notices the medallion. And so going back to the fact that we now know that, the question is the character of Geraldine or Monica Rambeau aware of what she is doing? And in this scene where she is helping Wanda give birth and is in the house, is she trying to help Wanda or bring Wanda back to reality? And you'll recall that the character of Jimmy Woo can be heard on the radio, seemingly from outside of the Wanda bubble town, asking Wanda, who is doing this to you? And I also found it kind of interesting that Monica continued to try to just feed Wanda's ego, particularly after Wanda heard her mention Ultron. She's questioning her, and at first Geraldine is just trying to downplay it by just saying what Wanda wants to hear. And that, to me, is how she was able to blend into the town in general. Now, when it comes to Vision's part in the show and him having the power of speed, calculating about the children, meeting his children, of course, right? But also having interactions with Herb and Agnes, we think Vision is starting to understand more about what is going on in the town. And the big secret that Herb seemed to want to tell Vision is either that they are all being trapped and manipulated by Wanda, or that they are all dead. And them being all dead is totally possible. It's totally a thing. It would have to do with Mephisto, Grim Reaper as a character, and Wanda's powers, and could lead into some absolutely bizarro stuff. But let's not get lost in the weeds there. For the purposes of breaking down this episode, though, it's important to remember that what is going on with Vision is seemingly there to show us, the audience, that something is awry and that all of these people are either trapped or dead, or something weird is going on that unifies them, and it isn't the same for outside people like Monica Rambeau. Now, let's talk about the children, because the children seem to be the most important aspect of the show and may hint to the reality of Mephisto wanting the character of Billy or Wiccan to have as his surrogate or his thing to control. Now, number one, I think it's becoming pretty obvious that her connection to Pietro as a twin and his powers of speed are perhaps manifesting in the way she has created Tommy, and even maybe in the way Vision is manifesting powers currently. We've also seen some hints at the character of Whizzer, who may well be either in this show or hinted at for the future of the MCU. We also saw the butterflies come to life over the top of the bed, and the stork, perhaps even from the painting that was on the wall, manifests itself and comes to life as well. And what's really interesting is Wanda is trying to take the stork away or make the stork disappear, and even her powers can't do that. I don't know what that means. Some people think the stork could be Mephisto. Some people think the stork could be Wiccan manifesting things before he's even fully born, because his powers are about to be insane as well. I don't know, but it's definitely worth talking about, because there's something there. It has to do with what's going to be not only happening in the end of the show, but in the MCU moving forward. And the last big thing we have to talk about here is the difference between Tommy and Billy. Interestingly enough, Tommy is the character or the perfect child that Wanda wants. Tommy, by the way, is speed. Tommy is a speedster and some kind of a manifestation of Pietro in some ways, or at least that's kind of what we're thinking. However, Billy is the one that Vision wanted, right? Mephisto wants Wanda to manifest a child. Wanda wants a child. But what Wanda wants as a child is not what Mephisto wants from a child, and they will have sort of this interplay and a sort of tearing of whatever manifestative powers Wanda is practicing. And so, we don't know exactly what it means, but we've really seen a lot of evidence to suggest that Billy and or Wiccan is the whole focus of Mephisto, or perhaps other nefarious powers that are at play here. And the interplay between the fact that Wanda and Vision only wanted one kid, now there's another kid, the second kid pops out. It's interesting. I think it's just meant to make us think. I think answers are on the way, but I also wanted to sort of speculate about it, bring it to your attention, and say this whole show is built like a Marvel trailer that Feige knows all of us sweats are going to pick apart frame by frame, right? So I'm just telling you, man, when I saw that, when that thing really came to my attention, the more I started to think about Billy, Tommy, Wiccan, Mephisto, Wanda, Pietro, all of it. Wow, there's some crazy stuff going on here. But guys, that's it. That's the episode breakdown for episode 3. I think the episode was great, but I am looking forward to getting more answers and actually getting to the big bombastic MCU action. That's what I'm about, but I'm enjoying the ride for now. I, of course, want to know what you think about this. What do you think about all the crazy things that happened in the episode and some of the speculation and theories that we have about what it means? Let us know in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.